Hi guys, Mollusk here, and this is going to be a quick video documenting the beginning of a new chapter. I'm going to start trying to get into Malifaux. I'm not about to ditch Warhammer or anything, so I have no fear in that regard, but I was getting excited to try a new system, and as it turns out that Age of Sigmar isn't for me. I've had my eye on this game for a while, and one of my friends said he might be interested in getting into it as well, and that's good enough for me, so in we go. So, why Malifaux? Well, pure and simple, its backstory rocks. Steampunk with Wild West and Halloween themes? I'm sold. It's a relatively new game, and so for those that don't know, it's set on Earth in kind of Victorian times, except there's magic. And a bunch of wizards who rule the world decided to tear a hole in reality to get some more magic, and they found a new world, desolate and forbidding. And so all the Earthsiders have set up their base of operations in or around the city of Malifaux. And basically everyone wants to control these things called soul stones, which do magic. And it's basically steampunk Wild West horror, which is just awesome. There was a series of books I used to read when I was a kid by an author called David Gamel, and I forget the name of them, but it was about this post-apocalyptic, hard-ass, sharp-shooting motherfucker John Shano. And Malifaux basically seems to be that. There are several factions you can play. There's the Guild, which is like the mafia cowboys that work for the wizards. There are the Arcanists, which are like the rebel wizards. There are the Resurrectionists, who are criminal necromancers. There are Gremlins, which are goblin rednecks. There are the Ten Thunders, which are ninja triad guys. There are some outcasts, which act as mercenaries for all the other factions. And finally there are the Neverborn, who are demon creatures from people's nightmares, and the indigenous dwellers of the Malifaux dimension. And it's these guys I've chosen to adopt, because quite frankly, I like my nightmare monsters. In terms of the gameplay, Malifaux looks really interesting. It's a really small-scale skirmish game that's based around lots of different types of missions, and the way you take a handful of guys and buff, debuff, and basically try to mess up your opponent's synergies whilst weaving your own. And it's not a type of game I've ever played before, so I think it's going to be really refreshing. It certainly looks fast-paced, strategic and thematic, which is everything I want. The other thing that makes it stand out is the fact that it uses cards instead of dice. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that, because I've always really disliked card games. There's just something about them. But the more I think about using them in a war game, the more intrigued I become. So I'm going to hang up my biases and give it a shot. So the way you play Malifaux is you get an army called a crew. You get your general or master for free, and then hire all the rest of your dudes with soul stones, which are the kind of the point system. And there's a variety of different scales you can play at. 50 soul stones seem to be what's recommended for the best balance of the game. And that word right there is already enticing me towards this, because I'm really interested to see what a balanced game that all of us Warhammer players have been after for so long actually is. So the really exciting thing about Malifaux is that you can buy your crew in one box with all their stats for 30 quid. And at first I was like, hang on a moment, that's not cheaper than Games Workshop. So don't be fooled, this is not a cheaper game because the models are cheaper. It's a cheaper game because once you've dropped that 30 quid for your 6 models, that's it. A bit of superglue and you're ready to start playing your first 30 soulstone game. And I can see what Age of Sigmar was trying to do with the buy anything, take anything dynamic, but Malifaux does it in the way that buying the box set actually improves the balance of the game, which is just totally out of left field. But anyway, I wanted to get a crew box, so I watched a few battle reports to get a sense of what some different crews can do, and I was really interested by the Swamp Hag crew. I really like the style of play you've seen you can do with them. But then I looked at the models, and most of the models in that box were just a bit balls. And I have plenty of Games Workshop miniatures which could be excellent proxies, so I decided to go with Lilith's Mother of Monsters instead, because demon goats. So let's check them out. Guys, let's do this. Mother of Monsters. You're here with me at the start. Let's see what we've got. Oh wow, one-hand unboxing. Pretty difficult. Here we go, the sprue. So let's see what we've got. Looks like Lilith. She'll make a good Lamian for my Dark Elder if this goes all wrong. And what's this guy? He's the goat demon dude, looking pretty cool. Cherub. Everyone loves cherubs. And these Terratots. And excellent. Looks like the heads come separate. Because you know there's no way I'm going to be using those. Ungor head replacement surgery for sure. Oh wow, foam. Everyone loves foam. And the cards. And the bases. Awesome. And about 5 hours of painting later, here they are. I don't know if that sounds like a lot of time, but 2.5 hours over 2 evenings felt pretty lightning for me. Now, I enjoy painting, but I don't have the time or the patience to do it well. If it looks eye-catching in a good way from about 3 feet, then that's good enough for me. And painting these things was great. It felt simpler than Games Workshop models normally do, and the way they're almost all different, and the fact there's just not very many of them, gives you that buzz of having actually finished something, again and again in rapid succession. So I really enjoyed doing these, especially Barbarous. He's just excellent. Really liking him, and I can't wait till I get another box. Pretty sure I'll go with the evolved Nephilim, because I want more flying goats, and also they're apparently quite good. Which is another crazy thing about this game, isn't that every model I've looked at seems to do something cool, and so long as you build the right synergies, there doesn't seem to be a bad buy. Another thing that struck me about this kit was that the plastic is really good quality, and it's sad to realise I've turned into the kind of guy that would say something like that now. But yeah, there's lots of thin bits on these models, but they're all really strong. And I'm not having a dig, but noticeably better than Games Workshop. Don't get me wrong, Malifaux's sculpts are cool, but they don't quite match GW's sculpts yet. But the point is, the plastic is definitely better. As are the bases, check those out. If you actually gave a damn about basing your miniatures, which I don't, then I think these would really lend themselves to some cool scenery. Well, those are the models. One final thing to mention is that I was a bit all over the place this weekend, but one of my friends paid a surprise visit, and I managed to get him excited enough for him to agree to play a test game with me. We basically both took this crew because it's the only rules I had for any of the models. I didn't record it because seriously guys, you would not have wanted to see it. It was me who just briefly skimmed the rules, teaching him who had never heard of the game before, and we had to make most of it up because I didn't realise that the weapon stats and spells and stuff were printed on the back of the cards. Until about turn 4. I am such a dumbass sometimes. But despite that, we both had a really good time, and I'm hopeful I've set the seeds of wargaming germinating inside his mind. So that's it, my first steps into Malifaux, and the beginning of the journey of Lilith and her Nephilim. Thanks for watching.